really interesting dynamics that happens when you form a mob mentality. The group becomes de-individualized. Your identity is no longer your own, but it's part of that diffusion within the group. Like a school of fish, you start to formulate your actions depending on what other people in the group do. This gives us a feeling of belonging, that we're part of something that's greater than ourselves, which we're inclined to do because there's power and strength in a group. A solo human, defenseless, and has little chance of surviving, but a group of humans, dangerous and powerful. And when you're in the group, emotions are actually contagious. The strongest emotions in the group kind of feed the rest of the individuals. So things that you may not do if you were alone, you might want to take part of because it becomes like this feeding frenzy on whatever emotion they're dealing with, whether that's anger or aggression or anxiety or fear.
Wipe out!
And that creates an anonymity that each individual isn't really as responsible for their actions because it's the group's responsibility instead. And so because of that, people find it accepting to do behaviors that you wouldn't usually do if you weren't part of this group. And so the responsibility for your actions become diffused among all of the group members. But that also means that the people that do the strongest actions get the most attention. They're the ones that are revered and looked up to in the group. And so because of that, because you want the group's acceptance, you'll do things that you wouldn't do as an individual, and because of that, all of those emotions and actions are accentuated.
Didn't you see the sign, dummy? No food or drinks on the ring.
And then if we add a charismatic leader, someone that people want to follow, someone that people look up to, that is that uniting force in the group. And for Angela, you also have a very charismatic leader, one that's good at social engineering, able to rally the forces, and not just the people that are in her tribe, in her group, but she's able to rally all of the other people that are around her. They want to see what she's doing. She commands attention, and because of that, the group becomes this really powerful force that everyone wants to be a part of. People will want this person, especially if they can be really harsh or scary. You want to please them because one is you don't want this person being turned against you because then the whole group turns against you. And then from being part of this very powerful tribe, you become the person that's victimized by it.
Chrissy, but he did something. Probably sacrificed her. That's what I'm saying. It's this cult he's in.
It isn't a cult. It's just a D&D club.
And how exactly, you know, all of that, Sinclair?
It's really hard to stand up. Lucas being able to say anything that even remotely goes against the group is a really dangerous stance. This is risking him having to stand alone, and this group that he wants to be a part of may no longer accept him. And you see, it isn't even Jason that has to say anything. It's one of the other people in Jason's group. And the reason that they do this is to show their loyalty. You can just tell from Jason's look that he's not too pleased that he's even being spoken up against.
He's the wrong type of person. Our Chrissy was just a part of his sick game, but not if we can help it. Would Chrissy want us to just stand by? No! No, she wants us to go out there. She wants to do something about it, wouldn't she? Yeah!
And you can see that group sync that's starting to happen. As Jason is speaking, he's rallying all of his group, and everyone's speaking up as one voice. You can see that cult-like mentality, that morphing of thoughts. They're no longer speaking as individuals, they're speaking as a group, which is really powerful for uniting people. We use that, which can be a force of good, but that de-individualization and the becoming of one group also means that you have to think as one group. And thinking separately or differently is looked at as wrong. This is also a really important time of our life, our age. When we enter puberty and become teens, that's when we no longer are looking up to our parents and they're the most important person, but when it's our peers that matter the most to us. And that feeling, that need to be able to form your own groups was so important, because during this time, a long time ago, was when we would form our own actual tribes. And our rank among those groups was really important to our own survival and what we ended up getting from our tribe. And for Lucas, this is really hard to be able to stand up and say that Jason might be wrong. One is, he's not just standing up to any of the group members, he's standing up directly to the leader. Popularity really matters for us. Affirmation and wanting to be looked up to. It's innate to our human species. In a tribe, if you were the highest ranked, you got the best food, you got the best mates, you got protected, and the higher you are up on the hierarchy, the less of a chances you would be able to be thrown out. The higher you are in the group, the more power and control you have with everyone else around you, and that feels really good because that's linked to our own sense of safety and control. There are many other cool stranger things out there, but living with anxiety isn't one of them. If you want to take a look at in-depth ways to manage it, check out my brand new Nebula class on beating anxiety. It covers what anxiety is and straightforward tools and techniques on how to cope with it, so you can start living a better life today. There are also brand new Nebula classes from Thomas Frank on Business 101, Legal Eagle on how to sue like a lawyer, Sam from Wendover on persuasive communication, as well as classes with music, writing, animation, travel, and many more, with new classes going up every week. They're all masterfully produced and available for just $10 a month or $100 a year, and that includes thousands of ad-free, sponsor-free videos already on Nebula. And new videos are coming out every day from me and all your other favorite education creators, including original exclusives and extended and bonus features that are only available on Nebula, like my 2-hour Jinx saga from Arcane. And for those of you that have already signed up for Nebula, including Curiosity Stream, it's only $5 a month or $50 a year to upgrade to classes. So just hit the button on the screen or the link in the description and start learning today. Hitting that link really does help out my channel, and so does watching this playlist, where I break down the characters and scenes from Vox Machina, Arcane, Stranger Things, and many more. So give it a watch, and I'll see you in the next video. So let me know, what are your thoughts on mob mentality and Jason and Angela, and if you like this video, please hit subscribe.